Hola, señor and señoras. This is Generation Rising. Hey, yo. Yeah, that's my morning stretch routine. A lot of grunts, a lot of moving, a lot of eating bacon. What's shaking, y'all? I'm going to give a brief introduction to the show real quick. Me and my buddy Lee. Lee's from Mississippi. I'm up here from Indiana. We did a Skype call, and we talked for about a good hour and a half, close to it, about climate change and global warming. We had a nice discourse, and I believe we stayed on task as much as we could. We offer a lot of news articles. We try to get out a lot of statistics, and we try to get out opinions from both sides of the aisle to see what we can do and where we can end up, and what are the possibilities of happening in this chaotic world. We try to do it justice. You know, we're both kind of new at this, so give us a little bit of leeway here. I think we did a really good job by staying on task. You know, we didn't ever really get off task, so we stayed on the whole time, and I'm really proud of that. And I hope you enjoy it, man, and I hope you listen to it all the way through and give me your thoughts and opinions on it, and let me know what you think, because, you know, me and Lee, we're going to be doing this a lot, so enjoy the show, guys. Love ya. Alright, everybody, welcome back to Generation Rising, episode 7. As you've heard in the introduction, I got my buddy Lee. Lee, introduce yourself there, buddy.
Hey, so I'm a liberal from the central Mississippi area, which if you've read anything or know anybody from that area, is not exactly known for its progressive ideas.
Which we both share. Which we definitely both share, yeah.
We are almost identical in pretty much every regard, because we read and believe in science. So.
Oh yeah, we do things that are like relatively logical and rational. That's fucking nuts. But and you know what the funny thing that I always tell about everybody is, dude, I met you on the Metalhead forum, the Metalhead page on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So then, you started posting stuff. I started posting stuff. I seen that what your post said, and we did that whole back and forth, which is awesome, because you're a really smart guy, man. And I'm glad to have you on the show, and I know you know what you're talking about. And we're going to take on the huge barbarian, the biggest task of our time. We're going to try to take that and put this in this show. So I hope we're able to do it justice, but we're going to talk about climate change, obviously. And we're going to just go off the rails on that for a while, and we're going to see where we end up at the end of this, because I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be bad, but it's going to be one hell of a ride, I can tell you that. So, yeah, just today, man, I went on a hiking trip to Mathiasen State Park in Illinois. It's about 100 miles from where I live. And it's such a beautiful place. It has, like, all these rocks and waterfalls, and, like, a place where you would never think to be in Illinois. Like, if you went to this place, like, I've lived around here my whole life. How is that in Illinois? It looks like it's from the Amazon. I mean, I haven't been to the Amazon, but this shit looks crazy. Like, there's waterfalls and stuff. It's fucking marvelous. It's beautiful, and there's a lot of people enjoying it, right? So, I'm not a spiritual person, obviously, as everybody all knows. I do pronounce myself as an atheist, for damn sure, but there's a certain level of connection, and there's a certain, like, really good feeling that you get when you're out just bare bones in the back of the woods, or walking through a state park like that, when you're on your own, walking through the mud and getting rained on and stuff. And it's such a beautiful thing, because there was a thought that actually ran through my head when I was actually in one of these waterfalls, and I just thought for a second, it might be a crazy weird thought, but it occurred to me that this earth, which is so old, has contained so many different, like, worlds on itself. You went through a dinosaur age, you went through a volcanic state, you went through the Pangea age, and now here we are today. And what we got, it's beautiful, it's magnificent. It's something that I want my daughter to grow up into, to come together, to have a relationship with and love. I want everybody, all my friends, to enjoy it. It is something that we just take for granted on a day-to-day basis. It's just a basic environment that we are just we the sunrise, sunset. I mean, all these things, all these simple things that we take for granted are so beautiful. But now we are literally calling it out. And there's been people that are way bigger than us and way smarter than us, and they're saying that the world is in a very dangerous spot right now. And we have an own system and body of government that is refusing, and not only refusing, it's rejecting the science to try to fight and try to save it. You can speculate however you want to speculate. You can say whatever you want to say. You can have any opinion on what you want to have. But at the end of the day, we don't want to gamble our home. This is our home. Earth is our home. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're anti-gay, whether you're pro-gay, I don't care what you think. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you look like. It's your home and it's my home. And it's something that should be very near and dear to us. So, yeah. Anyways, so we're going to go into it. Lee, do you got anything you want to say about climate change, man? What it means to you?
Oh, man.
I know it's a massive question. I do, but...
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know where to start, but I'll throw something out there. Okay, so basically, I can't sum it up better than Dion. It's literally the biggest issue facing the planet. You know, it's equivalent to probably the Second World War in a lot of ways. But the thing is, we don't have a united front against it, despite the fact that it's obviously real, very, very real. You know, in the United States, primarily, there's far lower amounts of, you know, denial in other Western countries. Probably in other countries in general, including pretty much all the other ones, maybe. But in the U.S., there's this massive lobbying
of like energy into like certain like dirty money, basically, from energy companies. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. Like, you have this dirty money going to people who are, you know, preaching this environmental, you know, stuff, saying, well, we don't have proof and other, you know, crap like that, despite the fact that even NASA, you know, agrees that it's happening and it's a massive issue.
Yeah, we should definitely respect their point of view on it. I mean, they actually do other things and they fly to planets and shit, so we should trust them a little bit, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I was studying today, man, you know, and I'm going through, and, you know, like I tell everybody, man, I'm about all sides, okay? So I don't even think there's an issue that I've come across where I've, like, put my foot in the ground automatically and was like, oh, I believe this, and, you know, nobody's going to ever change my mind. So I try to see it from both sides, you know, and I was actually on this weird site called Iberian Net, and I was reading this article. It seemed like it was a right-wing website, but it was a direct message to all liberals saying on the reasons why Republicans do not believe in global warming and the reasons why we shouldn't also. And it gave like 2 points, I guess. And number one, there was no name for the author, which really ticked me off. If you want to put out a work like that's so disgraceful, you should at least have the balls enough to put your name to it. Whether it's a fake name or not, put something to it. He had no name on it. But even besides that, two of his main issues was, number one, his lack of trust in the government. Dude, we all have lack of trust in the government. I don't even think I've ever met anybody that doesn't have a trust in the government. But that doesn't give you the right to ignore such a huge issue, and that doesn't give you a right. What that says to me is that he's just washing his hands of the situation, and when shit goes down, he's just going to blame everybody else. That's bullshit. Number two, he said none of the reason why is because meteorology relies too heavily on computers. What? What doesn't rely on computers, sir? I would love to... Your whole article was given to you and you were able to post it by a freaking computer, and you're gonna sit here and tell me that the biggest issue of my time is wrong because it relies on computers? Dude, whoever wrote this, like, I just want to find them and I just want to throw them into Cannibal Corpse pit or something and just watch them fucking just get wasted, because this is ridiculous, dude. And I'm fired up right now. So Lee, you talk about that. What are your thoughts on that? Because I can't even say anything right now.
Oh God. Okay, well, I don't even want to touch on that comment about too much reliance on computers. I mean, what? I don't even. It's not even worth it. Like,
yeah, it's not. It's really not.
Steer clear of that. You know,
Exactly. Yeah, we don't even need to give this guy any more credence than we've already given him because, yeah, he needs to just go lie down for a little bit, and he needs to go lie down for a little bit.
Yes, I agree completely. But on a similar note, like it's like it's kind of similar to the Age of the Earth. I don't want to get on that, but
Yeah. Okay.
it's basically saying that science is an iffy source of understanding. you know.
A lot of these climate skeptics, man. For one, they are a majority right wing. So they are a majority. Number one, they're majority traditionalists. And hey, I'm gonna drop the bomb. They're majority white old men. So yeah, I said it. Whatever. And the fact of the matter is, they get on it and they sit there and they say, what do they say all the time? They say that the science is not in yet. The science is not in yet. Is that true, Lee? Do you think that's true?
No, that is that's anything but true. The science is unbelievably in, and it has been for a while. I mean, before Al Gore, but at least since Al Gore, it's been totally in. Okay, so for example, today in 2016, that's ridiculous. Okay, every other Western country believes in it and is acting to do everything they can to prevent it. Germany is an example. They've cut back their emissions. The entirety of Europe has done this. And you got all that clean energy going on over there, and everybody believes in it. Like even the Pope believes in it regularly. You see, like it's not something that is easily deniable. I mean, the Pope has, he even put out one of those papal encyclicals or whatever, basically slamming people who are denying it. And I encourage anybody who wants to have a pretty good reason to accept this exists to check that out.
Yeah, even if you got a pope on it, number one, I mean, when's the last time a pope was on a current issue? I mean,
right.
That really doesn't happen that much. So if you got that guy saying it, you should probably do something about it. Well, one of the things that the world was doing and that I found kind of interesting was I kind of was doing a little research of the Paris Agreement, which I know you obviously know, Lee.
Right.
And was spun by the United Nations, obviously. One of the main problems that I have with it is the finance is not really going to start until, number one, everybody signs on, which everybody hasn't signed on, and number two, it's going to be in 2020. The way that I look at it, we really don't have that much time to lose, but at least something's being done. So you got all 195 countries involved in the world. You have all of them involved, okay? So not all of them has signed on as of yet, but they are all involved. As of August, actually, there's been 180 members that have signed in, so we got the majority of them. The main focus of it is to hold the temp to below 2 degrees Celsius back before pre-industrial levels. Number two was one of their main focuses and initiatives was to foster climate resilience, low greenhouse gas emission development in order so that doesn't affect the food production. And then number three, it's going to make finance flows very consistent to all these countries who choose to partake and actually go through with the program. Another issue that I really have with it is it's not international law. So these countries can agree to it and then go back on it if, for example, it affects their market or the economy. So that sucks a little bit. I mean, the fact of the matter is, people, is that all of our chips are in the barrel. I don't care if you're Malaysian. I don't care if you're American. I don't care who you are. This conversation involves you. It involves you flat out. So, I mean, is there anything that you found out recently on the internet that you want to share with anybody?
Well, okay, so basically, I'm with Dion on this. The Paris Peace, or not Paris Peace, that was Vietnam. The Paris Climate Summit,
There you go,
or Accord, or whatever, is a great thing, great all around. However, like in Paris during the event, you actually had lefty environmentalists protesting the fact that not enough is actually being done.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was NPR covered it, and I mean, I'm conflicted on that. I really am. It's true, based on pretty much any science you look at. Even if all of these considerations are taken into account by all of the signatories of the accords, it still probably won't prevent climate catastrophe in the long run. But
Yes. See, the fact of the matter is we're moving too slow to do something about this situation because, I mean, they say to reverse the majority of these climate change things is to like reverse course, like not tomorrow, like today, like right now, like to stop it all and to figure it out. That means, what does that mean? New energy jobs. That means no more fossil fuel burning, which means no cars. We can't deal with our heat from natural gas. That means we have to find alternatives for that. Now, all these would have been pretty simple if we would have focused on it for years and years because we had a lot of time. I mean, technically we didn't have a lot of time, but we had some time, more time than we had now. Like if you started these programs back in the 1980s when they should have been started, compared to when you would have started them now, that's a 30-year loss. So, say what you will about that, but we've had some time to do things about it, and we haven't really been focusing on this. Instead, we're worried about two gay guys loving each other because that really affects my life in the biggest norms possible.
yeah, that's exactly right. We've had plenty of warning. Because okay, so obviously the biggest name in the past associated with the the threat of climate change has been Gore.
Yeah.
And he really passionately tried to take this head on.
Very true. Okay, I don't know if you know this, maybe you can help explain this to me, but where did that conspiracy start that he was isn't like the conspiracy theories, don't they like think that he's just doing it for like government control and one world government? Where did that start? Like what was that drawn from?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure how that started because based on everything I've read about Gore, he seems to be pretty rational about everything. You can say what you want about about him, maybe being distant and sort of antisocial. Although I don't buy into that. I've heard people say that. I don't really see what that's all about. But in terms of his his advocacy, I don't think there's any real way to look at it and say, that was all about big money. I think at the time it was politically dangerous and in no way beneficial for him to focus on, the issue of climate change.
That's very true, man. That's extremely true. And yeah, if you pay attention to that, he actually probably made that a main focus where, I really actually don't even know what the hell the presidential election was about back then, but you make a good point because nobody else was talking about that back then, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, he was associated with that the documentary And Inconvenient Truth, which is
Who did that? Who directed that?
Let's see. It was Davis Guggenheim. And it was actually the documentary focused on Al Gore. I'm not sure how involved Al Gore was, although I know he had a role in it. Obviously, it wasn't without his go ahead. In fact, I'll look that up. He was actually, the screenplay was done by Al Gore, and obviously he was starring in that documentary.
Okay, see, I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen that, so I should probably watch that.
Okay, yeah. Well, it was a landmark documentary. It's not entirely up to date at this point, not entirely relevant. Well, I guess it is in a sense. But let me just say that if a lot of these reforms that we're talking about now went into effect in 2006, we still might be too late.
Yeah.
But it would have been better all around.
So man, let me go into this because this is a huge thing for me. I'm gonna get this out of the way. This is on BillMoyers.com. It was published in 2015. But even though it's kind of a semi-old article, it's still in the same time frame of the representatives' time served. So it's not like, it's inaccurate information yet. I mean, come next year it will be. But anyways, what I was trying to research, and they had like an awesome infographic of the United States, and they were going by each state and showing the percentage of congressmen and women and Senate people who denied climate change. and what I found was, okay, that we have 12 who we have a 51% plus. Okay, so more than half of the representatives in these states, they have over a majority of representatives who deny climate change. These states are as follows: Montana, North Dakota, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, which I don't know why I'm surprised at that, Oklahoma, Iowa, Alabama, North Carolina, obviously, West Virginia, of course. So, I mean, a lot of these states are like, duh, right, Lee? Would you agree to that?
Yeah, I would say that read off exactly like
how I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, those are guys, I mean, sometimes if you're a listener in one of these states, man, you guys got to do your damnedest to make sure you remove these people from office. Like we said before, me and Lee, we both agree, and we're not authorities on this, but everybody who has a play in this is the biggest issue of our time, and if we can't get our own representatives to just come to the simple reality of the world, then they shouldn't be leading our country. The states that had a 0%, that have had absolutely nobody who was a climate denier, are as follows: South Dakota, Delaware, Oregon, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Vermont. I thought those were pretty cool because, in my opinion, I really didn't expect to see any states that had 0%. So what I did was a little more digging on my state, Indiana, and on Lee's state, Mississippi. And I was able to find that I have two representatives who are climate deniers. One is Larry Buxton. I don't really know his name. Todd Rokita is the other one. The amount of dirty money from energy companies in this state alone is $847,000 of dirty money being filtered in to these politicians' pockets in order to deny climate change, for one, and to make sure that they take care, and they make these companies make sure that these politicians are there for them when they need it. Mississippi, which, as Lee was pointing out earlier, which I had no idea, they don't even have 3 million people, and it takes like a good 5 hours to drive through that state, doesn't it?
No, absolutely.
So that's a huge area, and it only has 3 million people. I was blown away by that because, I mean, Indiana, which is, everybody thinks that has nobody in, that is like almost double. That is double their population, and they actually have $1 million of dirty money in that state alone. That is absolutely insanity to me. And they have two politicians, obviously, and it's one's Greg Harper, and the other is Roger Wicker. So, holy shit, Lee, how do we go about making sure? It is the most dangerous thing in my life, I think, that I have a person in a state of power that denies common sense. And we're not even talking about the issues that we love, like, number one, what do we love? Separation church state. We can talk about that all day. We talk about gun control all day long. So those aren't even like all the things, the issues. I'm just talking about the main issue of our time, and that's climate change. And if these guys can't even get on that page, we got serious issues.
Absolutely. Like as far as what can actually be done about this, obviously full acceptance of climate change is the biggest, the best move that a population can make. And any individual who cares about, the planet, literally the planet, that's not an understatement. Not just one country, but every country and every population on the planet. If you care about that, there's really no reason to even consider climate denial. There's just no reason. There's all this evidence, very good sources. This stuff is coming from scientists who, care about this stuff. That's their life, that's their job. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as what can actually be done, it really comes down to the political process. Just don't let these people get in elective office.
Simple as that. I mean, I don't even know how the hell these guys got there in the first place, but apparently me and you messed up, Lee. We did something wrong,
Yeah, it's it is partly the fault of the voters. I mean, just the fact that these people made friends in the political environment.
The mere fact that they're known is just fucking beyond me, man.
Right.
It really is.
It's like, okay, so you got these conservatives. Conservatives have historically been pretty inclined towards whichever position the Pope has on anything.
Yeah, that's true.
But, when it comes to this one issue, there's this separation, which makes no sense to me, really.
Well, they probably dreamed up another conspiracy. That's all they ever do is just make up shit. It seems like they just make up shit as they go. That's all I see. I mean, I'm toiled with this completely day in and day out. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I'm a victim of this. I go out there and I try to look this up. I mean, I'm a huge guy, in investigating and trying to figure out political processes and all that. So I make it known. But I mean, it's just the garbage that I alone, and I'm not even a journalist or anything. I'm not even a person like that. I mean, I have to flip through all this garbage, and it just blows me away. It blows me away.
Oh, me too.
Jesus.
Absolutely. I mean, there's like no intellectual integrity.
No. And that's I think that's a huge issue, in the number one country in the world, that we don't have that in our power, or in our offices of power. You know what I mean? Like that should be a given. You know what I mean? Like the smartest, brightest fucking people should be leading a country, and instead we have fucking people like Louis Gohmert who are like, what is wrong with this guy? Does he have issues? Obviously, and it's just fucked up, dude. It's really messed up to watch this guy dress up in a suit, which I don't even know how he even knew how to tie a tie. And he's sitting up there, has hella more money than I will probably, hopefully, ever make. You know what I mean? Just making money, and he's just speaking out the dumbest, most nonsensical shit that I've ever heard in my life. And I just fucking, oh.
Right. I mean, it's amazing. It's truly amazing. Okay, so, you don't see this in other countries. Even Canada, I mean, there is a certain, element of denial there, but I don't even think the conservative politicians have ever outright denied, climate change.
Something so evident. And I mean, we're always going to have those fringe people. That's just everywhere in life. You're always going to have those people who are like, yeah, well, we don't want to do that. And that's cool. That's just human nature. We can understand that. But the mere fact of me understanding is like some of these states, I mean, I just still can't believe in it. I mean, they have more than half are climate deniers. Where they go to McDonald's and shit. Like they're in public with me and stuff, and like they're scared of terrorists. Well, I'm scared of them. Like you can't acknowledge the simple reality of your situation, and I'm like in public with you and shit. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hit my car and you're gonna be like, well, I don't believe that this just happened, so I'm out of here now. Okay, well, thank you very much, sir. You know what I mean? Just leaving me in my shit. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck, man?
Oh gosh, that is so. Yeah, that summed it up perfectly. I mean, it's pretty prominent in the Central Mississippi area. You could talk to. Okay, so there's a huge Fox News constituency in Mississippi. It's pretty big, and it's pretty pervasive, and we're talking, we got people that believe, I mean, this is a significant portion of people I'm talking to on a regular basis. Not everybody. Trust me when I say there are liberals, there are progressives, there's extremely intelligent, rational people in Mississippi.
Right on. Yeah, of course. Yes, definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. But there is, this massive faction of people that believe, shit like Obama, Muslim terrorists.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Just we were talking about this before the show, man, and it's just hilarious to me that. Oh man, dude, like it's more work than it is. Like, like I said, they should like go find a writing job and like write a novel. And they should be people who are fulfilled and happy because they have the wildest of imaginations, and it is awesome to hear.
Right, it is.
It entertains me.
Right.
It really does. It really does. But I feel bad when I have like someone sitting next to me who's like, dude, no, for real, bro, like for real, like, no, not for real, but let's laugh together, like, you recently posted on your page, man, and I want you to go into this more in depth because it blew me out of the water. Was you were talking about fracking and the Texas earthquakes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's a thing that needs to be said. That's a stat that for fucking the ages.
Yeah. Okay, so let's give an overview of fracking. It's
Yes,
short
exactly.
for-
Yeah.
Right, because a lot of people have just this a very basic kind of elementary understanding, and that's okay because, quite frankly, if not for environmental things, I wouldn't care about fracking myself.
Yeah.
But it's short for hydraulic fracturing. It's often called hydrofracking or hydrofracturing, and it happens throughout the country. It was basically outlawed in New York from.
It was, and it was an awesome victory for environmentalists for sure.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. I'm not gonna subtract from that, but I feel like something this crucial should be basically defeated everywhere it's occurring.
Oh, so you're saying it should have been easier, but it's not? Yeah. Well,
I mean, too much friction for something like.
for something as serious as that. Yeah, for sure.
Right, but I got mad respect for the New Yorkers who managed to accomplish it.
That took some dedication and hard work, man. My shout outs and everything to them, man, for sure.
Absolutely, and I mean it's happening in Texas. I'm gonna hit you guys with some stats about that, but it's happening throughout the central United States too, in rural areas, and it's been without a fraction of a doubt, it's been connected with earthquakes. And a massive increase in earthquakes, like. Okay, in the 70s up until 2008, if my statistics are right, which I verified this stuff, so they should be, there were 21 earthquakes of magnitude 3 or larger per year. That is, earthquakes are pretty bad news. However, these earthquakes are mostly in extremely rural parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, where hydrofracking is actually happening. So unlikely to affect people because there's no people there.
Yes. Okay.
Right, but after 2008, there's been this massive upsurge, which may correspond with an increase in fracking. Although there's been a gradual increase since the 70s. However, it seems like, according to most statistics, after 2008 especially, the rate at which these magnitude 3 or higher earthquakes happen has increased exponentially. I mean, there's 99 per year.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, you see, and I mean, look, these are uninhabited areas, but what happens when somebody's, driving through, or somebody just wants to start their own, society in, the middle of nowhere?
Earthquakes are bad. Doesn't matter, they're bad. They don't need to happen. I mean, obviously it's a natural occurrence, but if we're causing it, we should stop immediately.
I agree. I agree completely because, not only does hydrofracking cause these earthquakes, and I'll get some statistics on them as they pertain to Texas, which they've, they're pretty common. But not only that, but hydrofracking, the process destroys a lot of water. And that, we can talk about that all day, and I could just drop statistics on that, but that's just something to keep in mind. So even if it were not for these earthquakes, you would still have this massive industrial waste.
Yeah, what is that called? That's called brine, right? Isn't that what that's called? The after product,
So.
the after product of these fracking, the water when the hydraulic fracturing, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean.
And then that's how the earthquakes are caused, right? They're stored in like injection wells.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Brine's basically a salt solution in water, and it's involved with the process. I don't know all the details. In hydrology, brine is but yeah. Do you mind if I just read off some of these Texas earthquakes and statistics pertaining to them?
Please do so.
Okay. So we use rational sources that can reasonably be believed. We're talking sources that have backing, and for example, at some point I may use the actual NASA website for some of this information.
Yeah, that's great. That's good, man. That's really good.
We touched on that earlier, but not only NASA, but the U.S. military has actually acknowledged climate change is occurring in a major way, and I may talk about that.
Well, okay, another thing too, actually, that you brought the military involved. The Republicans, their main platform is national security. Is global warming not a direct threat to national security?
It is by far
So,
biggest.
yeah, threat to national security. So if the military sees that, what the hell are the Republicans doing, wasting time?
I don't understand it, man. Like, honestly, I really don't, because according to, this is the military's own platform, own position on this, climate change will cause conflicts that will require U.S. intervention. Now, whether or not that's...
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's going to be the major driver in conflicts in the future, as far as I can tell.
Like water wars, right? They're talking about a lot of water wars, water scarcity. It's already a thing. It's already happening in our own backyards, right? With Texas and California, you were saying.
Well, yeah, water wars. I'm glad you mentioned that. Water wars that's an interesting topic. And, okay, so there's this massive dam in Ethiopia, and various countries in that region of Africa have different positions on that dam. And Ethiopia insists that it has to go up, but I do think that its southern neighbor is actually scared that Ethiopia will be depriving it of water.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
That's fucked up.
It's a major thing in that region, man. Like, these countries trying to monopolize water for their own population.
Oh my god, dude, that is scary as hell. That just scared me. That, like, whoa, that's really happening.
Absolutely. And like, I feel like I remember hearing that Sudan, which is obviously not below Ethiopia, is, in a area where it feels like it's being deprived. And South Sudan, which is just recently separated, also I think is adverse to the idea of Ethiopian, water domination.
The thing about this that really it's just mind-boggling to me is the fact that climate change hurts the poorest the most. And, these water wars are probably years to come in America. Hopefully, I really hope. But we never know. But what I'm saying is the people that are being vastly affected are already the poorest of the nation. Ethiopia, really? Now they're going to start a water war? I mean, that's sad. That's very sad. I feel insanely bad. Like I'm just over here drinking bottles of water left and right. You know what I mean? And now the people who have already been starving, who still, I think they still have a monarchy. I mean, they're so backtrodden because they don't have what they need to evolve into the whole global economy kind of thing. And, here they are, already stuck with another tragedy on their hands. And that's messed up, man, because the weakest of us are going to get hurt. And to think that we're going to skate free of this thing is just wrong.
Right, exactly. I mean, and it's happening throughout the third world. Like, that's the area, the areas, obviously, most affected by this. Like, Bangladesh is probably the biggest example. The Maldives are another big one. They're literally sinking.
Yeah, they're underwater. Those pictures,
Right.
if anybody gets a chance to go look at those up, man, dude, those people are like for real, they're underwater.
Right.
Like
I
it's
mean,
not
this
a
place-
joke. It's not a joke. Like these people have to leave and shit, like for real. It's not
Yeah.
funny. It's not funny either, but I just can't believe that it's a thing. I really can't believe it's really happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't, I'm not even gonna pretend to know the history of the Maldives, but this is a country we're talking about, a country with some degree of national pride, I'm sure, and to lose your islands, your territory, a substantial part, and have people forcefully relocated.
Oh man, dude, I can't even imagine that. Your culture, your family. I mean, I did last week podcast. I talked about the Alaskan people, from refinery29.com. They're small. They're really small. It's only like 40 or 50 people at the most, but the mere fact that they had to come together and be like, yeah, we got to move somewhere else. We got to leave.
Right. Yeah,
And
that island, or not even an island. That's,
no, yeah, it's right in Alaska, and the mere fact of the matter is, those are U.S. citizens. You know what I mean? Like they're U.S. citizens. So what the hell, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's happening in southernmost Louisiana too.
I bet. I always think about those people all the time. Hurricane Katrina, all these floods, the bathtub. These people they're being annihilated. It's unfortunate, man. It's sad to see. You actually didn't you go down to New Orleans recently?
Yeah.
What did can you still see the after effects?
Well, okay, so I was fortunate to well, let me clarify. I was fortunate to have, okay, so I went to Louisiana. However, unfortunately, because of the flooding in New Orleans, I didn't actually enter the city proper. So
Really?
I was mistaken. Yeah, well, you see, I mean, I could have, and it would have been perfectly safe, but the place I was going to stay at, the majority of the devastation occurred in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. However, there was apparently some flooding in New Orleans proper, because that was the place I was going to stay in. And without that, I was just like, well, another time. Unfortunately, I don't know when that's going to be. Apparently, the person I'm going to stay with has been hit with like thousands of dollars in bills.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and the insurance companies aren't going to cover it. Apparently.
No.
I don't know.
They're probably not, man. They're really probably not. A lot of those home insurers, man, they really backed off when the Hurricane Katrina hit and left a lot of families without anything. That's a whole different story that we don't got to talk about. But I mean, because obviously I'm a metalhead, man, and a lot of the bands I listen to, they're from the New Orleans area, like Down and I Hate God and all those guys, and they're always talking about how devastated it is and how the country kind of just forgot about them and they're just kind of on their own and shit. That's why there's a huge heroin epidemic, which is actually everywhere in the United States. It's not just there, but the drug abuse, the alcoholism, the businesses shutting down. That's a weak spot that we gotta pick up now, unfortunately.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to say that New Orleans isn't in an incredibly dangerous position is just unfathomable. I mean, you can look at most maps of the planet as things are predicted to unfold based on current trends. Trends can change, things can alter.
Yes. The world is not a static place. It's
Right, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
it's real.
Right. Well, based on the current trends, New Orleans doesn't stand a chance. The entire fucking city is going to be gone.
Damn, dude. I want to see that city, man, so bad. I want to go down there so bad.
Oh, dude, it's...
Fuck, man.
I mean, the thing about New Orleans is it's fantastic. Lots of fantastic places like the French Quarter, Spanish.
Yeah, that's where yep.
Right, because, it was controlled by, France at one point and Spain at one point. And so you got cultural influences from both.
There's so much history down there, man. That's why I really want to go down there for sure.
Exactly. Unfortunately, though, Louisiana and New Orleans included has massive amounts of poverty.
Yeah. Well, like most southern states do, unfortunately, and the
Yeah.
majority of them are Republican, you know. So,
Right.
well, whatever.
Yeah, that's an issue. But we'll have to touch on that later. I mean, because we'd go off like.
Yeah, we can get lost. Yeah, we get lost for sure. And we're going to be doing this for you people listening right now. We're going to be doing this a lot. You know, me and my buddy Lee, we like to talk about these things, so that's a thing. Yeah, and the one thing that New Orleans, man, those, what do they call them? Those graves that are like not in the ground.
Oh yeah.
That's some creepy shit, but I'm down for that. Like, I want to see that really bad.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's so much to see there, and it's relatively affordable. Well, you know, it depends. Depends on exactly where you're going, but it's not exactly a bank breaker by any means.
Right on.
For the most part. You know, I think if you were to look at every state on a climate disaster-based.
A rating?
Yeah, you could say that. You would have to put Louisiana. I would say it's top. You know, if I were just to guess which state.
Do you think number one is the state? You said number one.
Yeah, the number one the most affected by climate change would have to be Louisiana, I think.
What about what do you think about like New York City and San Francisco though?
Well, you know, I mean, there's the droughts in, you know, California, but I don't see nearly as much displacement, or I just don't think the situation's quite as bad. And as for New York, I think there's actually I'm just gonna be straight up. Full disclosure, I think there's some populations that will benefit from climate change.
Really?
Initially, yes.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, Greenland is the biggest example by far. Okay, so, you know, Greenland historically has been completely snowy. And, you know, recently, and by recently I mean the last 20, 30, 40 years, it's the ice, the glacial area has decreased substantially. It will blow your mind, really. You can watch it just as it just evaporates.
Yeah, on the satellite imaging, right?
Right. And you can also, you know, because I talked to my grandparents about this. They've been around the world. They went to Greenland, and they actually went there twice, I think. And the first time was a long time ago. I mean, we're talking probably the 60s. And they said when they returned that the glacial melt was so, you can't not notice it. It was completely different.
Oh, you're saying it looked different to them when they before they first came?
Oh, it's massively different, and it doesn't take any kind of it doesn't take any level of familiarity with the.
That's
place.
whoa, okay, wow, that's big then. That's really big.
Oh, absolutely. And another thing is this scientist, I guess, Vice covered this. The story was pretty big in you know, climate circles, but they covered it. And this scientist went there, and I can't remember the date, but he returned there 10 years later. And when he went there the first time, he placed his pole under the snow. He returned 10 years later, and the pole was considerably higher than it was, you know, before.
Yeah, and I remember actually watching. I forget exactly what that documentary was called, but I remember that they took the Vice crew to an area, the face of the iceberg, and they were literally like, "Watch, just hold on. We don't know when it's going to happen, but we guarantee you there's going to be a huge chunk that's going to fall off." And they really didn't wait that long, man. I think it was like 20, 30 minutes tops, and next thing you know, boom, this whole like big, massive, giant chunk of ice just fell.
Right.
And it was like, this is going on all the time, 24 hours around the clock. This is what's going on.
Right. You know, and back to quality of life in various areas actually improving. In Greenland, for example, you can look at how people are living today, and it's a lot different. You know, they have to rely a lot less on, you know, like dogs to move around in the snow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there's just a lot of ways that it's, you know, benefited them, but at the same time, that's only the northernmost portions, and they're extremely low population areas. Like, there's less than 1 million people in Greenland.
Wow.
Yeah, and honestly,
That place is massive too, man. That's a big fucking state. That's a big country.
it truly is. Well, you know, a fun fact is it's actually Greenland is Danish overseas territory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that makes Denmark the 5th biggest country in the world.
No shit, dude.
No shit, you can look it up.
That is fucking awesome.
It really is. It's fascinating. They get a certain subsidy from the Danish government on some sort of basis, and it keeps them in the fold. But
Right on, man. Go Greenland.
I agree. I hope they don't decide they have to become independent though, just because I feel like they might as well just stay part of Denmark. I think that's too interesting to lose. But it's up to them.
That is true, but yeah, it's not like it's like a terrible country that's like an empire status. But
Right.
well, off topic, I recently seen a show where the Tales of Murder and Dust, and like they were from Denmark, man. They're Danish.
Oh, okay.
And they're on the Psycho Las Vegas tour, man, and it was pretty cool, man. They're really good, really good.
That sounds like something I'd enjoy.
It's like it's like stoner rock, and it's like a lot of long and awesome trance music, I guess you would say. It's really cool, man. It's really cool.
Speaking of Danish bands, there's one, and this is one of like 2 or 3 bands I've actually like decided, you know what, sending money that way.
Right on. Who is it?
It's this Danish band called oh gosh, no, I gotta plug these guys. I'm sure there's some way I can find what these guys are called. I listen to them regularly. They're on my playlists, but
So what do you mean? You like bought like merchandise off him, like and shit? Is that what you meant by like throwing money their way?
yeah, well, it was on like Indiegogo or one of those.
Oh,
sites.
okay.
It was to get their first album out. They needed some money with that, apparently.
That's cool, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. It's a real shame, though. I'm gonna find out what they're called.
Yeah, plug them, man, for sure. Don't forget about plugging them, man. Let's get the music out there, man, for sure.
Yeah, and there's so many topics we're not even hitting on. I mean, we've hit on the ice cap glacial melt a little bit, primarily occurring in
We talked about the fracking, but we need to get those statistics.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna get those up. Okay, so Think Progress did. I mean, there's tons of fabulous compilations of statistics related to fracking and earthquakes in Texas. And I got this tab open somewhere. Just gotta find it. Okay, here it is. Okay, so according to Think Progress, and you can look at Think Progress, you can look at all kinds of other environmental websites, and they say the exact same thing. So I don't think this is some conspiracy.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, if there's science and data to back it up, it's
right.
You know what I mean?
That. There's no reason to believe that this site and all the other sites that basically line up with it entirely are in some sort of like I don't know, like
grand conspiracy to like do something for the globe or something.
There you go.
That actually took a lot of mind power. That took a lot of CPU to fucking think that up. So, kudos to all you conspiracy theorists out there. You guys are on the ball. I really tried, dude. I really tried hard with that.
We need to talk about that. We need to talk about the mental gymnastics that it requires to come up with these elaborate worldviews that debunk climate change and
Well, yeah, like the whole, like the reason why I want to do the show was partly for two reasons. Number one, to start a discussion other than your average discussions that you would have during the day, such as, i.e., sports and the weather. It was to get people actively engaged in topics that vastly affect their lives. That was one of the reasons. Another of the reasons for the show, I would love to make it my life's goal to battle this weird fungus of an intellect that we have grown in this society for some reason, to just spit out certain shit, take and believe certain things, and just ignore people's hard work. Like you were saying earlier, these scientists, that's their careers. This is how they make their money. They pour their life souls into some of these projects. They gather massive amounts of data so they can be correlated properly. They do peer review studies. They probably have double-blind fucking studies on these things. They're published in world-renowned journals that are really, really hard to get on. You know what I mean? And it's just, and we don't. It's maybe our lack of understanding of the process or something, or it's that. But yeah, like I said, it's my main mission to figure out why. Like for example, it took me a lot of CPU to dream that conspiracy up. Instead of these people out here who do this for whatever reason they do it for, instead of them wasting their amounts of time into dreaming up some fantasy world, they should be making a real difference. And I'm not here to cast judgment because I'm not better than anybody. There's a lot of things that I could do better in my life for damn sure. But the matter of the fact is, like, when I see wasted time and I see wasted potential, it pisses me off, man. It pisses me off because a lot of other people in certain regions of the world would love to have a different opportunity, a different mindset, a different upbringing. And people just piss on everything, and it really bothers me, man.
Oh,
and
man, I'm right there with you, man. Absolutely.
That's across the board, man. It really is.
I mean, if you have an opinion on climate change, then what's the point in adopting the far-right conservative opinion that, okay, nowadays, and this has been consistent for a while, you don't see them really denying that it's happening so much as they deny that it's being caused by humans.
Yes, that is a thing right now. That's very true. Yes.
Right, because
I mean it's happened to the point like it just you can only go off the rails so much. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think they're just at that level where they're like, dude, yeah, obviously something wacky is going on, but I still don't want to admit that it's human made. You know what I mean?
Right. And I mean, it's just. It irritates me because, like, all the reliable scientists, I mean, with the exception of a few, but even then you can look at, and I wouldn't call these people reliable, but they hold high positions. Okay, so like I mentioned this guy to you, but I'll elaborate further. Willie Soon, this scientist in the U.S., he concocted some theory as to why climate change was happening that was completely independent of human activity. But, you can look at his donations, his donors, and it's like ExxonMobil and various other oil companies, and the list goes on, and it doesn't take much to realize,
that he was bought out, right?
Right.
And there's a lot of these studies that are coming out because they're just being funded by like energy companies like BP and stuff like that.
Right, BP was one of his, I think his primary donor.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, dude. Okay, so back to the Texas earthquake.
Yes.
This is I think this is what inspired this episode to.
It was, I think this was definitely because I always knew I wanted to do it, but when you said this, I'm like, all right, man, let's come out with it now. Let's make this episode. I'm pumped.
Right.
I'm jacked.
Right. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna read exactly what I hit you with.
Okay.
The 162 Texas earthquakes with magnitudes of 3 or greater between 1975 and 2005, the study categorized 42 or 26% 26% as almost certainly human caused, and 53 or 33%, 53 earthquakes or 33% of them as probably human caused. Only 13% of earthquakes were natural. The study was based on a review of journals in the Historical Catalog of Texas Earthquakes from 1847 to 2005.
Holy shit.
Yes.
13% were naturally caused. What the I can't even what?
Right. Right. Like you can link, okay, first of all you can look at the rate, the sheer number of earthquakes, and you can see, well, that's not consistent. But there's other ways, and we'll get to them to, determine whether these earthquakes are likely caused by, human activity.
That is, man, that's just mind-boggling me, man. 13%, what the hell?
Right, I agree. Okay, so the study, okay, I'm just gonna read it verbatim because this is just plain English.
Okay.
There's no reason to mess with this. The study also points out that past extraction activities caused earthquakes too. For instance, pumping too much oil out of the ground too quickly caused earthquakes as early as 1925.
Wow.
Yes, that is incredible. Okay, but the recent boom is related to unconventional oil and gas development, fracking, said Froelich, who noted there are tens of thousands of injection wells in the state. Most don't cause earthquakes.
Jeez, dude. Well, I mean, the science is in, you know what I mean, for this, because, Oklahoma's biggest quake was for the injection wells, man. And that was in 2011. That destroyed 14 homes, and it, curved a highway, a big major highway, curved it.
Damn, that's gargantuan. That's
yeah.
a big fucking deal.
And that's us that caused that. That's just what really blows my mind is not we already have to worry about nature destroying us and killing us at every moment of every day. But now I have to worry about man, making the earth kill me.
Right. I'm glad that you mentioned Oklahoma because, basically, this also ties into the fact that this hydrofracking insanity is basically an attack on the earth, and the earth attacks back.
Ooh, very good, very true. Yes.
You see, because you got all these earthquakes in Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, middle of the country, and that's where the hydrofracking is occurring.
Yeah, majority of it, yes, right there. In the good old, I figure, whatever, we don't need to know the shale names, but yeah, the world is a living organism, and it's been around for a very, very long time. Not 6,000 years, but let's not even go there. 6,000, yeah, that's it. 6 measly thousand years, but whatever. And it's going to be here. It was here before us, and it's going to be here after us. And you can keep picking at the giant all you want, but soon that giant's going to get pissed off, and it's going to smash you like a bug that we are. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
That's fucking scary, and I don't want to be pissing off no giant, and I gotta, man, whatever. Can we just pick our fights like normal,
Exactly.
Man, dude.
I mean, look at the major parties in every other Western country, Australia, Canada, the European countries, wherever. Even Japan, which is a westernized Asian country. You don't see climate denial. You don't see climate change denial. That's not even a thing. Even the conservatives generally agree. They might disagree on the extent because they want to kind of fudge it a little bit.
That's a very good point, dude. I don't know why do you think that is? Why is this
I
a thing?
just think in those countries intellectual integrity is just a far bigger thing, far more major.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, we do have Trump running for the presidency, so what does that speak to?
That speaks to a lot, but nothing even remotely good at all.
Yeah, I mean that study on from PolitiFact that when Hillary Clinton said that Trump was a climate change denier, and it showed his tweet that he said about it was a Chinese hoax or whatever.
Oh, I remember that.
But
Oh God.
the thing is
Yes.
with him, okay, he was on Fox News and Friends. Now it showed on PolitiFact the whole quotes and everything. He says it. He backs off and he's like, well, that was probably a joke. I joke around a lot. But then he went directly in to say, well, I still think it's a big money hoax. What the?
Oh God. Yes. I know.
That's so dangerous, man. I'm not even concerned about ISIS right now. I just want this guy to like go into a cave or something. Like,
Yeah, I agree because I mean I've said this before on numerous occasions on various social media sites, but ISIS is not the primary issue here. You would have to be delusional to think. Okay, look, obviously I'm a secular humanist. I'm completely against ISIS in every way.
mm-hmm.
But they can kill hundreds or thousands, and even if they nuked people, in the long run, that would still kill less than 200 years of sea level rise.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Massive displacement too. I mean, yeah, man. It seems like we can control humans. I mean, at least America has been very good at controlling huge, like going into other countries and controlling those people. You know what I mean?
Right,
But for
right.
some reason, I mean, whatever, that could be debatable. But the fact of the matter is like we barely this Earth that we live on, this rock that's hurtling through this infinite galaxy, is a thing that we have a very hard time of understanding. And us humans, we should freak out at the possibility of like the Earth, like sea level rise, an ice age, or desertification. I mean, these things they affect us. They affect us. I mean, why do we feel unaffected? That's what I don't understand about this. Why do we feel that we're unaffected by this?
I sometimes wonder that too. I mean, it's pretty clear and transparent. It's happening around us, but people live in a bubble, particularly in this country, but it's throughout the world, obviously. But
Man.
yeah, if people can maintain a certain quality of life, it does not matter how obvious something is pertaining to other people.
What do you mean? Elaborate on that. I didn't really understand that.
Okay, let me put that in better terms. Okay, so like for example, let's say you're a relatively wealthy person in California. You have a quality of life that's fantastic despite living in a drought area.
Yes.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, and the guy down the street or the people or whatever, they have a really low socioeconomic status and they can't access water, so their quality of life is obviously affected by water scarcity.
Yeah. So the perspective changes upon
Right.
the point of what you're talking, and that's man, humans are crazy. I mean, that's all I gotta
They
say.
are.
We are, and we're so complex, and like, but at the end of the day, it's just I know, and I really feel that 90% of the people, not only this country, know the world. I think we know that we can do better. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And we have so much work to do. We have so much resources that we can partake of. And
Absolutely.
I know for a fact, dude, that and if not in my lifetime, my child's lifetime, that it's just going to come to a certain head where I have to make an incredibly tough decision. You know what I mean? That wasn't necessarily my fault. I had nothing to do with it, because I lived such a short life. But at the end of the day, I'm adversely affected by this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and it just boggles my mind that but we can do something. We could fight back, and we can. There's so much science out here that if you just went through all of it like we probably just did, I mean, we probably made 60% of the listeners clinically depressed, and I don't blame them. So they need to go get their Ambiens or whatever the hell they need and recover from that and come back and fight stronger, because it's depressing, man. It's depressing, and it's a bleak outlook. But I'd rather look at the world for what it is and see the dangers there and try to fight at it than just be like, well, it's all in God's plan and that's cool, because I think that's a big part of it, and I hate to even go into that, but I really feel that's a huge part of this issue. Is that we just feel that it's not really our responsibility and our ability to control of it. It's somebody else's responsibility, and somebody else controls it. You know, that's a
I think that sums it up. Yeah, just like example. Here's an example. I've heard people quote the Bible as as to why they don't believe it's occurring.
oh man.
Summarize. Yeah.
You have an example? You have a quote for somebody right now?
There was a political figure that did it, but I I can't remember his name, so it wouldn't do much good.
Yeah, but I can definitely see that them citing that. I mean, I've heard him say it before. It's God's world and it's not ours, so don't worry about it.
Right.
And it's like, well, I'm going to worry about it, so whatever.
Yeah. And it's all the GOP, man. Like,
It is a vast majority, man, and I never wanted this show to be partisan or anything, but some people they got to be called out for what they are. You know what I mean? And I think they're being hypocrites right now, flat out. And I don't believe that the time that they've had in office, I didn't see them do an inch or an ounce of good for anybody. And like we both said before, Hillary Clinton might not be the best, man, and she's. I would much rather have Bernie in there, but the mere fact that she can at least come to an understanding that climate change is a thing, that makes me feel somewhat at ease. Then I have Donald Trump on the other end, who just doesn't even care about nothing. He don't care about nothing.
oh, absolutely. I mean, Hillary at least has a worldview grounded in reality.
Yeah, that's the thing that's important to me, man. That's important to me for any person in leadership. Dude, that's important to me in any part of my life. The people who I take advice from, my mentors, boss figures, I respect them on the basis of their reality and their situation. Are they grounded? Can they see the decisions and the problems that lie ahead? I mean, I think that's the right way. I don't know though. I don't know everything about life, but I really think that's a good way to be in tune with the situation at hand. I think that's a good thing.
Right. Well, I mean, you look at authority figures, people who have authoritative positions based on research that has been peer reviewed, that has been agreed on, that has been looked at as a factual, dissertation, and basically agreed upon as something that is rationally grounded, like these reports, these based on that deal with things like these earthquakes or sea level rise. These things are peer reviewed. They're looked at and based on things, and you can typically find citations which you can read on, and it's based on actual evidence, unlike the position that it's not happening. That's
Yeah, and like I said before, man, I came upon that article from Skeptical Science that said 97% of climate scientists agree on climate change. And I did some more studying, and I seen maybe they were a little biased and they kind of upped the numbers a little bit. But at the very least, out of all articles I've seen, and both from the right, from the left, from people who are not even involved, the very least was 80%. Okay, you have 8 out of 10 scientists that agree on the fact that climate change is human. It's human cause. Not all. It's a vast majority of it though. And I don't even think any of those people are going to disagree with the fact that the world goes through certain things. Of course it does. It's like a living organism in a way, in a weird way it is. So it definitely goes through phases. But for us to be stewards of this land, and we're obviously the top species, and we can't just ignore that. We can't ignore it. Even if we think that we have an ounce of a responsibility to hurt our planet Earth, I mean, what are we doing? Why would we not want to do anything about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that question is basically what any reasonably intelligent person should ask. Why let this happen when there's alternative fuel sources, alternative ways? Well, oil is unnecessary. I mean, right now it obviously is to move a vehicle around. Of course, that could have been changed long ago, and really needs to start happening. But I just want to throw this out there. Pollution from vehicles isn't as substantial as pollution from methane gas emissions that come from factory farms.
Yeah. Cows. There was a documentary that I watched about that, and that was really cool, man. It was what was it about? It was about that vegan guy, and he was like,
I saw that. Yes.
now I know a lot of that. The substantial farming that he was talking about, man, I really looked into it, and I don't really think that can happen, what he said, but it's still, he was right though. Like, yeah, the manure from the cows are way bigger. They showed the bar, and it was like 100 times more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like, it obviously had an agenda. It was a great documentary.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, the methane gas is a really big factor, and I based on what I read, it's a far bigger factor than anything else in emissions. And it's coming from an industry that's basically the holocaust of animals.
Oh yeah, factory farming is a disgusting thing, dude, and it costs taxpayers boatloads of money.
Right.
It's a huge watering hole for taxpayers, man, and holy shit, factory farming is a motherfucker, man. But it's just like, and that's a conundrum in of itself, man, because I mean, how do you feed all these people? And it's like, you can't really have 4+ acres for like 50 pounds of beef. I mean, there's a happy medium, I'm not going to say it can't happen. There's something that we can do to try to curb that.
Right.
But I mean, it's a huge undertaking to feed not only 350 million people in this country, but 7 billion people in the world. So,
well, I think that it's kind of obvious that as the population increases, meat is going to have to become very secondary.
yes,
Maybe even
yes,
just not even a part of the diet for most of the population.
yeah, dude, for real. Yep. They made that very clear in that documentary, and that's that's true. I mean, the amount of, what was it? It was like the amount of input was like they were throwing. It's like they were throwing more money into it than what they can get out of it.
Right. I mean, if you look at the sheer amount of food destroyed in the process of okay.
Oh
for
yeah,
example,
yeah.
like the corn, I mean, they force feed these animals, which is sick in and of itself.
Exactly. Yeah, it's sad.
But that corn could be used as food too.
Yeah. That was yes. That's what. Yep, you're right. Instead of force feeding these corn, like, why don't we get some corn?
Right. Exactly.
I want the corn.
It's other food too.
Yeah. It's like a mix and mash. I mean, obviously, but yeah, like that. I mean, that's climate causing. I mean, have you seen that drone footage of that drone going over that pig farm?
I don't think I've seen that.
You should watch that, man, and anybody who else hasn't seen that, it's a very disturbing video clip. It shows like piles of the fecal matter from this giant pig farm just running directly into water sources.
Oh shit.
Dude, it is polluting as hell. You can get so sick off of drinking that, dude.
Oh, shit.
And a lot of people were, man. They were getting the townspeople were getting drastically ill. And then they fly it over, and like, the pig farm's like, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong, and there's a pile of shit running into the fucking water system, dude.
Oh, dude.
The pig farm.
So
Oh my
god.
god. Yeah. There's got to be a lot.
It's happening. It's definitely happening. And a lot of these things happen in places that are like ultra, agricultural, places like, Bolivia, where these people don't exactly have mass access to the internet to figure out about these things. Yeah, in the situation in Brazil, I've read about that pretty heavily for a paper I wrote once. Basically, if you question the factory farming companies in that country, and this is not an exaggeration, you'll disappear.
What?
Yeah, yeah. There's so many people who have just disappeared after doing that. The list goes on, and it'll blow your mind, really. 'Cause Brazil is a, I mean, obviously not a completely first world country, but it has highly industrialized areas. Obviously, major cities, Rio de Janeiro, with this year's Olympics were set. It's a nice country, and for people to be assassinated
For questioning the factory farming, huh?
right.
Wow. Oh man, didn't they say something about that in the documentary too? About how like one of those there was like that girl who was like, yeah, dude, she was like going to war against the some of the farmers there for their their inhumane use of the animals, and like how much of like because I mean there's another money pit is factory farmers love taking money from the government, and the politicians love passing legislation for them. Oh man, so yeah, get money out of politics flat out. I think that's a very good logical step to help combat all issues around the board.
I agree completely. Wolfpack.
Wolfpack, yeah. If anybody who doesn't know them, the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur, that's his organization to pass amendments in each state house legislature so we can get an amendment to ratify the Constitution and make sure that we have no more money in politics at all. And that means true representation of people.
Best possible thing that can happen, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I mean, just like I was telling you, I think last time when we had our first Skype call was, a politician is very similar to a person like me. If you came by and if you said, I'll pay you $100 a month, but when the time comes that you got to come out and change my tire, no matter what you're doing, no matter what time, no matter where I'm at, you got to come out and you got to change my tire. If you're paying me that money and I'm accepting that money, I have to oblige if I want to keep that money coming in. Because as soon as I say no to you, guess what? Okay, well, you don't want to change my tire. I'm not going to give you the $100 then. Oh wow, that's weird how that works. Yeah, it's free share of currency and value. So I mean, you're getting something back for your return. So that's exactly what happens in our political spectrum is that you have energy companies. It doesn't matter what kind of companies, power companies, cable companies, coming up to these politicians. Hey, I'll donate massive amounts of money into your campaign, but make sure when I need something done, you're going to write me a piece of legislation. So let's get money out of politics, man. That'll make it a lot cleaner.
Absolutely, that completely change the course of this country, and it'd be so much different, vastly different than it is right now.
It would be vastly different, yes, vastly different. So, yeah, man, we probably should start wrapping this up, giving our final thoughts on this thing, and we'll slowly close this thing down. Because I know me and you, we could talk about this for hours. We've already been on for hours, but yeah, man. So, you got any final thoughts? Any last things you want to throw out there for people?
Man, where do I start? Man, okay, so I'm glad we mentioned Hillary. Be better alternative.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's see. I definitely encourage people to look into hydraulic fracture. I mean, we mentioned that, but there's tons of sources, resources. ThinkProgress.com is one of my favorites. EcoWatch.com, that's a good one, and countless others that And this information, it's pretty simple. It'll show you a timeline, and it'll show you where the fracking's occurred, and it'll show you the result of the fracking. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. It's definitely something I think that literally everybody who cares about water preservation or future places that could potentially be inhabited, I think it should be something that they're looking into.
You make a good point, and I'll definitely I'll say that to all those people out there. Even if you don't care about the I honestly don't care if you care about the earth or not. If you enjoy brushing your teeth and taking extended showers, or if you enjoy, gluttony and you like eating a lot of Oreos and stuff like that, whatever you like to do, and if you want to keep doing that, I would suggest you get up off the couch and you go investigate and you get involved and you start showing a little effort, because those things that we take for granted, dude, are really gonna come back and bite us in the ass. And Lee, man, you're a huge World War I and II buff, know way more about a lot of the other wars than me. There's been so many times where people have suffered drastically in a lot of shitty situations that they had no control over.
Oh yes.
And we are on the verge of these things right now, and it's not. And guess what, people? This isn't going to end by some treaty between a country and another country, and now we can start the rebuilding process. This is Mother Nature saying, well, the sea levels aren't just going to stop when we come. We can't sit down at the bargaining table with the sea level rise and be like, well, if you stop rising, we'll stop polluting. No, the sea level is just going to rise, and you can't control it. It's an uncontrollable nature force. So if you care and if you want to live, keep living your life and keep enjoying yourself as much as possible, I suggest you do something about it. So let's get money out of politics. Let's get Wolfpack in there. Let us become more educated. Let us become active, involved in the system. Let's give Hillary Clinton a look. She's not our top candidate for the love of anything, but the head of this country needs to have one foot in reality. So, yeah, man. I could go on for hours, but it's been good, man, Lee. And like I said, for all you listeners who listen through this, and if you got to the end of this, man, you guys are troopers, and I really thank you for listening. And we're gonna do this a lot more. We have a wide variety of topics that me and him can go back and forth on. So if you guys have any ideas you want to throw at us, or anything you want to critique us, you want to troll us and call us assholes, I don't care, man. Any response is a good response. So whatever you think of this conversation, you let me know. You go like my Facebook page, Generation Rising. Follow me on SoundCloud. I'm actually working on getting a YouTube channel in here, getting some videos up. So yeah, man. So yeah, Lee, it's good talking to you, buddy.
You too, man. You too.
It's better times to come.
Oh yeah, many more.
Phew. What a show. Okay, we just tried very hard to try to give you the basic understanding of what climate change is, some of the statistics, and we covered a lot in this episode. So if you're feeling overburdened, or if you're still feeling at the end of this like, man, like I still don't even get it, it's all right. Like, it takes a while, but we wanted to do this as the first episode for me and him, because we want to tackle the biggest things, and then we can expound on little things in other episodes. And when climate change, as far as this show goes, I mean, it's going to be an undercurrent theme for as long as the show is, because it's very important to my life and it's important to the world. Now, with that being said, he was trying to think of that name, right? You guys heard him. He just couldn't remember the name of that Danish band that he was trying to think of. And anyways, he wanted me to mention it. He actually forgot about it, and he just remembered it. It's called Spitanger. Spitanger. So, yeah, if you guys get a chance to go listen to them or go to the Indiegogo and donate money to them, please do so. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We really tried really hard. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of effort put into this. And, yeah, that's all we can ask for. So, bye-bye. Bye-bye. You little bastards. Get off my lawn. All right, seriously. I'm out of here. I'm fucking tired. Bye.